Picture books are fantastic for any age. They're often thought of when looking for something to read to younger kids, but they offer many things to older kids and even us adults. Today, I will be talking about the book, The Widow's Broom. It is written by Chris Van Allsburg. The book drops us right in the middle of the action. A witch actually has a broom failure and falls from the sky. She luckily falls on the kind-hearted widow's land. She offers the witch a safe place to heal. Once healed, the witch leaves and, thinking the broom is broken, leaves it behind. Never one to throw out useful things, the widow keeps the broom. She quickly finds out it is no ordinary broom. It has magic. It sweeps, of course. That's what a broom does. But she quickly finds out that she can teach the broom other chores. It even learns to play the piano. The broom quickly becomes the talk of the town, as you can imagine. And while some of the people are accepting of the broom, others are not. Her neighbors feel the broom is evil. They seize the broom from the widow and burn it. The broom's ghost is seen haunting the neighbors. They're frightened and they move. The widow chooses to stay despite the neighbors' pleas to go with them. But why? You'll have to read to find out. This book offers so many activities and so many talking points. For younger kids, they can just enjoy the story with doing the usual activities and asking them the usual questions like predicting what's going to happen or what happened on this page. With my K through 2 classes in the library, we talked about whether or not the first part of the story with the witch was necessary and then why or why not. We talked about how the broom was mistreated by the boys on the road, and we talked about what would we have done in that situation? How could we have helped? How could we have changed that situation? We also discussed the illustrations in this book. We talked about how we thought that the illustrations in this book were made. We talked about, why are they black and white? We talked about, um, you know, would color change it? We talked about how the illustrations help tell the parts of the story that weren't directly written in the story. 3 through 5, we talked about how the neighbors demanded the widow to give them the broom, and we talked about the neighbors' fear and even hate. We talked about what the neighbors could have done differently, how that whole situation could have been different. And of course, we can connect that to recent activities in our world. And what could we do differently? How could we change what is going on? You can really have some great conversations with middle school, high schoolers, adults, just using this book and some of the situations in this book. So, activities that you might want to do could be you could create materials that raise awareness for magic brooms. This brings in numerous subjects. A few of them would be writing, of course, social studies, maybe even science, since, there's magic, depending on whatever your kids come up with. If you're familiar with art, if you're really good with art, you could actually turn this into an art lesson using the illustrations and how they did all that in the illustrations. I am not an art person, so I could not do that. You could also just have them create illustrations either digitally or if they're want to use different materials. The book looked like it used maybe pencil and ink, but maybe they could use some other type of medium. That would be awesome. You could also have them create like a little broom, or I don't even know, you might be able to purchase little tiny brooms. And then you can work in some coding. Maybe they could put little electronics on it. If you are someone who is coding and understands how to do all that, um, then they could maybe have it do something. Maybe not play the piano, but maybe just have it sweep on its own or, walk. a little bit or something. I think that would be an awesome way to bring in a STEM activity as well. Now, I have used this book in the past with my middle schoolers as a mentor text. So you could easily do it for high schoolers as well. Um, Talking about good introductions or even good conclusions, really. But I used it for a good introduction. You know, this is fictional and it drops us right in the middle of an action. But depending on what your informational topic is, you might could do something similar. So we talked about how that was constructed and how that kind of pulled us into the story. And then I use it as a mentor text. If you're teaching older kids, or again, even middle school, or even the younger kids, if you're having them maybe write a speech, maybe create a debate, if you want them to debate one side or the other, an opinion piece, maybe they need to write an opinion piece. Have them write an opinion piece on how they feel about magic brooms. Maybe a news article talking about what happened to the broom, because that would definitely make the news. Maybe a quick little tweet about it. Now, these are just some examples, as I said, and I have used almost all of those with my students. Picture books are quick reads, quick snacks. Even for the older kids, they can be good examples of writing, good examples of story structure when you're teaching reading. But even if you don't use it for that, they are great sounding boards for what's going on in our current world or what is going on in your school community. So don't discount picture books the next time that you see one or you're walking through the bookstore. Don't discount them. These guys are great book snacks just to get you in between books. Or if you're a teacher, a parent, a librarian, and you're looking for certain types of lessons, always use a book because they're great. They reflect so many skills and opportunities to talk about things. Thank you for watching today. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get more interesting book reviews and book talks. I'll see you next time.